What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and yes, I know, another Guild Raid video, but I really thought this was an important video because it's going to show non-collab characters getting it done, getting enough of a score in Lunatic to get it done, even with a 1-star Elizabeth, which is really amazing. And it also gets to show off another special striker and a card set that never gets utilized at all, pretty much, from a lot of players in this game, and really doesn't get much acknowledgement. Not the best card set by any means, but it actually can prove to be very useful against Guild Raid, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But the first thing I want to do is I want to remind you that this is the last day for the Kasumi Roulette, so if you have tickets in here, make sure, I got 168 of these, make sure you use all of these so you can get some All-Star Souls, Chaos Souls, maybe Souls for her, get her leveled up to help your Codex, and so on and so on. You know, she is a red balanced fighter. You could probably even use her for the RHD because you do need a red balanced team pass, tier 40, I believe tier 43 if I remember correctly. And as far as Guild Raid, I accidentally actually cleared this, which I didn't want to do because I can actually do a lot better with another team using BS Rugal and Eileen. But this was the score I was able to get, 201 million, with Iori, a level 10 Elizabeth, and Geenitz. No collab characters at all. And you see that we're using 98 Athena. She is absolutely key for this to work. And I want to give a big shout out to Yandi Kazunagi in the last Guild Raid video I did, because he actually threw this out at me. And actually a lot of the players in my Discord also did the same thing. So thank you all so much for this tip, because I actually forgot about her, and she's actually the best heal in the game. She is absolutely insane, and we're going to talk about that. Now for Iori, you know, obviously his leadership is king, but look at how I have him built. We got a cosmic card. Now I am using one PG card. Now you could use a different card if you do get one of those option cards from the combine systems. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you go in here and you go to combine, if you get one of these cards right here, one of these babies, these actually bump up your PG. I can't remember which one it is. This one here is for purple. This one's for blue. This is for red. This one's for green. Okay, it's the last one. And this one's for yellow. If you had this option card on Iori, you'll have this 30% chance to gain 2.5% power upon landing an active skill. Now you could put the Leah set, because it could actually proc your skills more often, which is going to give this a higher chance of getting more PG gain. But even if it's just one between the 3 skills, you'll probably get this 2.5% power PG gain, which is really going to help. So if you don't have these collab PG card, and you actually get lucky and get one of these, I know it's, you know, RNG based, but I've already actually gotten this one here. I've actually already gotten this one, but it's kind of useless for what I'm doing right now. But still, the increased attack, the HP, is going to help for survivability and damage. So you can use that card instead of the PG card that I have. Although the PG card I'm using is really just going to be the Kingdom Come. It's just going to be the best because you get PG rate from when you're doing your active skills. So if you take a look at this thing, you actually get gained 2.5% power upon landing an active skill. And there's no cooldown on this thing. So it's absolutely insane, but you could probably do it with one of those other option cards as well that are always in the game. And then you have the Cosmic card. You could even put another, you know, like the Terry option card here, like one of these cards to help the PG rate when you're doing basic attacks. Maybe put one of those here, but then you might not do enough damage. Now, here's the part that's really interesting. This set never really gets any love at all. And this is really one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. I didn't want to use any collabs, and I didn't want to use the Tekken set. The Tekken set is obviously God on Iori, and I do have this set, but this set is actually really good. And the reason is you get the increased penetration by 800, right? So you're weakening the defenses of Rugal, but you also get the super armor, which isn't a big deal because Iori already has native super armor in his first skill, but you get the decrease damage received by 20% for 3 seconds upon using an active skill on a 7-second cooldown. So you're going to get this decreased damage received when you use your skill. As soon as you use your skill, it's going to be for 7 seconds. By the time your rotation comes back around, you use Iori, you use Elizabeth, you use Geenitz. By the time the rotation comes back around, this is going to be ready to go again. So you'll get this decreased damage received every time that you use Iori. But on top of that, to really help with survivability, because he really is a glass cannon, I have this stone right here. Now, this stone increased attack by 10%, but it also gives you this decreased damage received by 20% for 5 seconds upon using an awakened skill. Now, the caveat to this thing is you have to use your awakened skill. But as you'll see in the rotation, I always use my awakened skill before Rugal does his explosion. So I actually get this 20% decreased damage received from this, and I also get the decreased damage received by 20% from the Ein set. Now, this isn't the best damage dealing set. You could always put the Akane set. I made a video about that. You could always put the Akane. The damage meter from the Akane will stop it. But once the cooldown's going on for the Akane and your rotation comes back around, you will die instantly. So having this 40% decreased damage received really helps. It's not the best for attack, but it is a fest set. It does have good CP. It's not a bad set. You can see that I'm carrying 70,000 CP. Now, when I have a Tekken set, this is 90,000. So that's the difference that damn set makes. And of course, max capsules. And then as far as the other infinite stones, I do have this stone here that's actually from Expert Mode Guild Raid. And then this stone here that you actually get from one of the Immortal Dungeons with the HP. So if I had double attack here, we could actually do even more damage with this team. So just keep that in mind. And then Elizabeth here, where, you know, I do have an attack stone that I actually got from the KOF pass, and this thing does give you the double attack to the defense fighter and attack, and then we get the starlight damage, which does help, by the way. It does help. I don't think you really need it, but to get the 180 million that you need for 4 keys a day, to get the max score, to get the best rewards in Lunatic, this would be a massive benefit. But if you do have her awakened to level 2, level 3, this will still work even if you don't have imprint stones. And then we're running the KS set because it just absolutely synergizes really well with her kit. It bumps up her attack based off defensive. She is a defensive character. She has a lot of defensive stats and so on and so on. Really, really great. You could even put a different card here, like the Kazumi card, if you want to add a little extra damage. Maybe that would help, but I really like having my cooldowns, at least so far. Maybe when she's leveled up a little bit more, I might change this. And then Geenitz here he's very well built. I am running the Kazumi card. I do have one of them PG cards. And if you had one of them green option cards, and I know it's 2 option cards, a lot of RNG, but it does give you hope, if, you know, without collabs, that you can do this. I am running the Leah set because I want to keep proccing and proccing, because we need to do as much damage to Rugal after the Starlight is applied, the Starlight dot effect. That way we can, you know, do more damage, break the meter, and then use Geenitz's 3PG, and then go into Iori's 5PG. The Leah set's absolutely king for this. The Akane will work, but you don't get the reset cooldown, plus Geenitz doesn't have any reset skills on his active skills. So the Leah set's actually really, really great for him, plus it adds a little bit extra attack, 34% extra attack. The 3PG cards, which you want to be using, and we have this card here to add a little extra CP. And then for his stones, we got this stone here that's actually from the Expert Mode Guild Raid. This stone is actually from one of the Immortal Dungeons. And this stone's from the Immortal Victor. So if I had 2 more double attacks here, that would be 20% more attack. If I had the other double attack on Iori, that'd be 10% more. So I could do quite a bit more damage if I had a little bit different builds on my characters. And as far as the strikers, this is where it gets really interesting. Athena. Now, if Athena here was leveled up, and by the way, if I get memories for this girl, I am going to level her up. I am going to level her up. Because the more CP that your character has, the more CP that your striker has, the more damage your damage dealer is going to be able to deal. So the higher awakened level she is, the better. And believe me, strikers do make a massive difference in adding extra CP. If you can add 2,000-3,000 CP to your damage dealer, that's going to make a big difference in the amount of damage you're going to do. But this heal is absolutely insane. It's a 30% heal. It is absolutely nuts. And I do have a little card set on her to add a little extra CP, but I really need to level this up. But if she was awakened, unfortunately, I don't have no memories for this girl. Otherwise, I would awaken her to really help bump up that CP. But that heal is absolutely insane. The best healing striker in the damn game. Number one right here. And then for Elizabeth, now you could use Ash. He'll be actually really good, but I'm going to be using Psyche because Psyche is going to give us that PG gain. And even though Elizabeth has that insane PG core where she builds up her PG gain super fast from doing combos, this link effect is amazing. Obtain 20% power at the start of the stage, obtain 10% power when using an ultimate move, and the decreased skill cooldown by 1 second is massive. And then you get the, which honestly, if you're using Psyche, maybe I should have put a Cosmic card on her. Maybe that would have been better. And then you get the extra, of course, extra damage. But this power charge rate is really wonderful. I also have a KS set on Psyche to help bump up that CP. And then I'm just using Mukai here for a little extra damage. I do have him at 5-star. He's level 45. That makes a difference as well. The higher your waking level, the more CP you're going to be able to add. You're a damage dealer. And I think I have a... What do I have on this guy? Yeah, I have a Tekken set to bump up his CP. Nothing big. But he's just a damage striker for Geenitz. Every time you bring him in, we're going to be getting extra attack by 10% when HP is 70% or more. And then we're going to get a little extra crit rate when HP is 70% or more. And you'll see in the rotation that Geenitz really doesn't ever take any damage. It's really between these two is that really what's going to be taking damage. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So I'm going to run with you guys how I'm going to be doing this. First thing we're going to do is going to start off with all 3 skills. Don't bring in Athena. You don't need to yet. Run through 3 skills. Bring in Elizabeth. 3, 2, 1. Bring in Psyche. Get your default built up. Use it. Then dodge. And then 3, 2, 1 again. Apply Starlight. Switch in Geenitz. Bring in Mukai to get the extra attack buff. And when there's 2 seconds left, you'll see a little countdown on the icons of the characters that you need to bring in, that you're going to be tagging in. When there's 2 seconds left on Iori, hit your 3 PG for Geenitz, and then do Iori's 5 PG. And once you bring in Iori, bring in Athena to apply your heal. You see the green numbers there showing up in the screen. That's your heal being applied. Now we're going to do our 1, 2, 3 again. And remember, now that we use our Awakened skill, the Imprint Stone decreased damage received is applied. Plus we're getting the decreased damage received from the card set. So we're not taking near the damage. 3, 2, 1. Bring in Geenitz. Boom. Bring in Mukai. Wait till 2 seconds left. We're going to hit our 3 PG. 2 or 1 second. Hit our 3 PG. Boom. Then we're going to bring in Iori. 3, 2, 1. We brought in Athena. We're getting our heal. We're going to use our Awakened skill. There we go. And boom. And this is really why PG gain is going to be very, very important. Because if you don't build up PG fast enough, then you won't get your Awakened skill off. And if you don't get your Awakened skill off, then that Imprint Stone's decreased damage received won't work. It won't apply. And we're going to switch to Elizabeth. Now, something that's nice about Elizabeth is, and I've talked about this before, she has the decreased damage received on her second skill. So even though she's only level 10, she doesn't take a whole lot of damage as long as that's being applied, which is nice. And you could bring in, you could use Ash as a striker for her to give her some heal, but you'll see with this run that you really don't need it. Come on. And I thought this was a really important video to do for all of you because everybody seems to think that you need collabs. And yeah, they definitely help and they're definitely better to have. And I tell all of you to save your rubies for them because they are extremely valuable. But do you absolutely need them? No. Definitely not for this. You do not need them. With well-built original characters that we have in the game, always in the game, you can do this. Now there we did take a little damage, but we stunned Rugal at the same time. And then remember, if my Geenitz had, 2 more double attack imprint stones from expert mode, we would break the meter even faster because we'd be applying even more damage. I mean, these are things you need to keep in mind. If Iori had one more, had a double attack stone on him, another double attack stone on him, we would do even more damage. And boom. And look at that. And then we're just going to heal up when we bring in Iori again. So you have all this decreased damage received from the card set and from the Imprint Stone. You have this insane heal from Athena. And your survivability is just going through the roof. Big time. It just helps them so much. So even a glass cannon like Iori can be built to withstand an insane amount of abuse. You know, we got him built to take abuse, but then we got Athena to heal him up. And that 30% heal is freaking nuts, guys. It really is insane. There you go. Come on. And when this girl is, you know, level 50, obviously she's going to have way, way better survivability. She's going to have way higher stats. Boom. Now, we took a lot of damage there. But no big deal. No big deal. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Let's go. And remember, we just want to get 180 million. And the beautiful thing about Guild Raid is you only need to do it once. You only need to get your score once. And then you just auto-skip it the next few times. Which is great. You don't have to play it over and over and over. You just got to play it a bunch of times probably just to get the score the first time. But once you get it, you're good for that day, and then you get it started all over the next day. And by the way, I don't know if you any noticed, but Iori's ultimate skill, his animations have changed. They're much brighter, much more colorful. I got to tell y'all, let me know how you all feel about it. I don't really care for it personally. I think I liked it better the way it was before, because now when he does it, it just blinds the hell out of me. Like, you know, I play on I use a PC. I do use an emulator. I use LD Player, and you know, I have a monitor in front of me, and this thing about blinds me. I think on a phone it won't be so bad, obviously, because you have a smaller screen. But man, I mean, it's cool, right? I like the X's, but at the very end, boom, like right there, the whole white screen. My God. I mean, look, you notice, guys, Iori's fully healed, and he can just keep taking abuse. And like I said, you could put Ashe for Elizabeth if you need to get this extra heals. But like I said, as you see, you don't need. And by the way, this wasn't that difficult, guys. This was my first try with this team. My first try. Now, what I should have done originally is I should have just tapped out and got out of here, but I went ahead and went for gold. And I could have done my default right there and done even more damage. So I accidentally cleared this. I actually didn't mean to, because I can actually get about 350 million with Rugal and Eileen with Elizabeth. You know, obviously it's a much better with those characters, but with the characters that we have available in the game at all times, you can get the score. We needed 180 million. We got 200 million and could have done even better. And just imagine if Elizabeth was at level 50, you know, or level 30, level 40, leveled up even more. This would have been 250 if I would have had more imprint, like better imprint stones on Geenitz and Iori. I bet you anything we'd have hit over 300 million with this team. So let me know what you all think about the regulars getting it done. And as always, let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.